He has the most home wins in the major leagues this season with 11. Third in the National League in home ERA, 1.84. Bob Gibson-esque numbers for Matt Morris. And for him, Busch Stadium is truly home sweet home. How about 11 on WB11 today? That's what Tony and the Cardinals are looking for. And a chance to creep even closer in the National League Central race. Beautiful day downtown. A little breeze blowing. A perfect baseball Sunday. Will the Cardinals remain perfect and sweep the Phillies before flying on to Cincinnati tonight? Bob Carpenter, Al Raboski, Rich Gould is with us. Another grinder last night, Al. The kind of ball game the Cardinals may have lost a couple of weeks ago. And today, you got your horse on the mound as Matt Morris looks for number 16.
Yeah, but first of all, let's go back to what you said about the grinders kind of games. These are the games that, you know, as you mentioned, we probably would have lost this game in the first half. But now this team is starting to take that air about it. That's really that supreme feeling that when they walk on the field, they expect to win. They don't know how they're going to win. They don't know if it's going to be easy or they're going to have to grind it out, but they expect to win, and they should do that same with Matt Morris on the mound. He has been absolutely phenomenal, and particularly here at home, he has almost been unhittable. You know what? Matt just keeps on going after hitters. You see 11 wins at home. The ERA, 1.84, third best at home. And, you know, he's just dominant. He's coming off one of the strongest performances of the year his last time out. A complete game. But he really labored in the ninth inning. Remember, he had the bases loaded. He hit a batter. That was the only run they scored. And remember, there still is a thought process that after 2 years, you know, he hit 99, he had the Tommy John surgery. Last year out of the bullpen, 150-plus innings, and now at 160-plus innings. They're a little bit concerned about fatigue, but you wouldn't know it the way he's pitched last time out.
Earlier, Al said they don't know how. They also don't know who. Last night it was Cairo. Who will be the hero today? Maybe more than one. Matt Morris and the Cards coming right up.
Welcome back. Great day for a game. The streak taking a life. Hermanson joins us. Dustin, great game the other day. You know, the starting pitching has been so good for this ball club. Each guy wants to outdo the other.
Well, I guess that's what we're supposed to do, but we don't really try to outdo each other. We just try to help each other and push each other for the next game. And you know, obviously, you want to keep a streak going. You want to do better than the last person, and it just keeps pushing us. And you know, we're just trying to do the best we can for this team.
Matt Morris going today. He's been outstanding, hasn't he, the other day? 22 guys in a row said that.
Oh, it's awesome. You know, just him come back from that surgery and doing what he's doing this year has been spectacular. And I can't say enough about Matty Moe. And, you know, he's another guy that just, you know, just helps keep pushing each other. And, you know, hopefully we're wishing DK luck today, you know, his wife. But, you know, it's good to be with these guys, and everybody does push each other. It's fun here.
As a player, it is so much more fun to play when it means something, to look forward to coming to the ballpark, and you didn't get that in Montreal. You get it here.
Well, I still look forward to coming to the ballpark in Montreal. I mean, it's a little tougher, but, you know, I just enjoy playing baseball, and, you know, having this kind of situation is a lot better, but it's fun to come in here to the ballpark.
Appreciate it, Dustin. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
Cardinals and Phillies coming up. We'll see if the Cardinals can sweep this ball club and keep the streak alive.
Stan the Man out there at the Plaza of Champions, and everything looks like championship baseball around St. Louis these days. We've got the Southwest Airlines starting lineup for the Phillies, batting .269 with their very good rookie Jimmy Rollins leading off. Marlon Anderson back at second base today, and Scott Rowland at third. Bobby Abreu's in right, Pat Burrell in left, and Travis Lee at first. Brian Hunter, a former Cardinal, plays center field. Johnny Estrada, a catcher, and David Coggin, who's pretty good so far in his young major league career. But how about Matt Morris making a big-time comeback? First half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup today. Matt Morris, Al, we've documented his success at home, and he has a chance to be the Cardinals' second in a row 20-game winner.
That's right. He's got 15 wins on the season. He's never defeated the Philadelphia Phillies. He's 0-1 in 3 games, 2 starts lifetime. But it's worth mentioning again that home ERA and record. He is 11-2 with a 1.84 ERA in 13 home games.
Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers with the Cardinal defense. Kerry Robinson in left. Pujols in right because Mark McGuire's in the lineup today. We will tell you that Mark will be batting 6th. Mike Matheny behind the plate, handling Matt Morris. How about a WB 11 in a row today? 11 would be a gift from heaven. The baseball gods are smiling kindly upon our Redbirds these days. And they're making a lot of their breaks happen right now. We're going to start a couple of minutes late here. Mary Kay Day at the ballpark. A lot of wonderful gals are here rooting for the Cardinals today. And a fastball up and away. At 1:12, a couple of minutes late. How about this? 78 degrees at game time. Is this May or is this August? Jimmy Rollins jacks one to center. Edmonds cruising for it, angling for it, and reaching for it. That ball had some carry, and if that's any indication, Al, we're going to see some long fly balls during this day game.
Yeah, nice sunny day. Wonderful temperatures of 78 degrees, and normally you would think that a ball to carry this far would have to be about 95 plus, but the players are pleasantly surprised with this sunny day, pleasant weather, and a 10-game Cardinal winning streak. How about that?
Marlon Anderson, Cardinals start the day 2.5 back of the Astros, only a game and a half behind those Cubbies. Chicago's at Arizona later. Julian Tavares, who pitched great in Houston Tuesday night against Brian Anderson. And the Pirates at Houston later with Todd Ritchie against Roy Oswalt, who was beaten by Tavares in that game in Houston. Matt Morris, a complete game, over 120 pitches, the second route-going performance of the year. In his career, Matt has 7 complete games and 2 shutouts.
He was so dominant in that game. At one point, he retired 22 straight batters.
That's over 7 innings worth of hitters in a row.
And just, I mean, he just flat out pitched. Got a little tired in the 9th inning, but held on for the complete game. Lost the shutout when he hit a batter with the bases loaded, but he did strike out the final man of the inning.
We're doing some work in our score box. We'll get that thing up in that left-hand corner for you soon. 3-0, and there's a strike. One game in the National League underway. Milwaukee with single runs in the first and the second, leading 2-0 at Cincinnati, trying to sweep the Reds.
The game was a 4-hitter, and he took a 2-hitter into the 9th inning.
Pop up out of play, 3-2. American League, some games underway. Boston at home leads 6-1 after 2 over Baltimore. Blue Jays got 2 in the first against the Rangers. Anaheim 2 in the 4th at Cleveland, and Seattle 4 in the first at New York against the Yankees. Royals and Tigers tied 1-1 after 3, and the Sunday of baseball is underway. Phillies will be watching the scoreboard later as the Braves will play at San Francisco. 47 on the board. Yeah, that's Tom Glavine against Jason Schmidt. Glavine's 11-5. 3-2 pitch from Matt. Another pop-up, and it's out of play. Cardinals have now taken command of the season series over the Phillies, 3 wins to 2. Final meeting between the clubs right here. Matt Morris as good since the break as he was before. He was the all-star squad representative of the Cardinals. And there's a high fly ball to center. Edmonds is cruising for this one. Little guys hitting some long fly balls. There is a good breeze blowing straight out towards center field.
Yeah, but make him hit it to the deepest part of the field. Got a lot of room out there, and you got a Gold Glove defender. Wind appears to be blowing more in, or definitely to left field, than straight away out.
Scott Rowland, the batter, and a fastball down the middle.
Shirt off, our MDA, Rawlings shirt off the back. Our jerseys off the back day. I'm getting a little mad, Bob.
You've been scratching it for a while, and you've come up empty, huh?
So far, I still got about $35 worth left I've gone through about 115.
Is your dime worn out now by scratching?
No, I'm using my car keys.
Okay, 0-2. And a ground ball to Polanco. Over to first. 1, 2, 3, go the Phillies. Great start for Matt Morris. Cardinals looking for offense and looking for 11 straight. Tony La Russa's Cardinals batting .269, third best in the National League behind Colorado and Houston. And the Southwest Airlines starting lineup with the little guys. They're out there again. Vina, Polanco, and Robinson. They've been a peck of trouble for the Phillies in this series. Pujols, Edmonds, and then Mark McGwire will bat sixth. Renteria, Matheny, and Matt Morris. Second half of our Chrysler Jeep pitching matchup is David Coggin, a 24-year-old rookie for the Phillies who appeared in 5 games last year. He's been pretty successful at the big league level so far.
Yeah, he was 2-0 last year and 4-1 this year. Big kid. He was a highly recruited quarterback.
And he was. He was a guy who could have signed with a bunch of different schools like Clemson, BYU, Southern Cal, and Florida. Places where great quarterbacks go. A big fella, 6'4", 205. And that's a breaking pitch inside, 2-0. Fernando Vina, 4 for 7 in this series. All over the bases last night. Scoring 2 of the Cardinals, 6 runs, and driving in another. And that ankle area, that shin, feeling okay this morning after he got plunked by Cliff Polite last night.
He'll tell you that this is push time. You battle to get into a stretch drive, and he doesn't want to come out of these games.
Well, we called last night's game a grinder. Fernando Vina is a guy who will grind it out every day. He swings and fouls a breaking pitch. The one thing I noticed about Coggin in watching videotape in the Cardinal clubhouse this morning with Jim Edmonds and some of the other guys who were checking him out, he is not at all shy about throwing breaking balls in on the hands of left-handed batters. He'll try to jam him with that pitch. There's another one, and Fernando fouls it off, and there may be some left-handers taking a beating with foul tips today.
All right, one of the things that these hitters are going to find out, he's trying to be much more aggressive, but he's trying, you know, as a lot of young pitchers, they try to strike everybody out the first couple of years. Now his goal is to retire hitters with 3 pitches.
2-2 here. Fernando hits a 2-hopper. It plays Anderson, and he still got him at first. Ball came up on Marlin. He kept it close. That's why you don't play balls off to the side. The Phillies defense brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Best rated defense in the National League. And only the Seattle Mariners have made less errors in all of baseball than the Phillies, 67.
One of the reasons why they have done so well and just a game out of first place is their defense. It has really helped their pitching staff with so many youngsters in their rotation.
There's Polanco, and there's a strike.
Rob, you'll see the right-handed batters will probably see a few more curveballs, and then he'll throw more of a slider, and also he has a natural cutter to lefties.
There's a flare, well placed down the left field line. It'll go to the wall, and Placido Polanco, after 3 hits last night, including a double, has another one here today.
4 for 10 in this series for Placido, and boy, is he just so consistent. This time he gets the ball in the inner half, he turns on it, hits it in the left field corner. Before Burrell can get it back in, Polanco's out there with a double.
Gary Robinson is 4 out of 6 in this series.
But Tony Russo says, I don't have the guts to take him out of the lineup. Nice with Robinson. You know, you have that lefty, right, lefty, right, lefty, right. With McGwire batting 6th.
And Gary Robinson ahead in the count, 2-0. Yeah, Tony really likes that because it sets up difficult bullpen situations for the opposing team late in the game. Last week and a half or so, Gary Robinson has been red hot. Cardinal hot. The 2-0. Might have been off the plate, but he thought it was close enough to be swinging, and the count's 2-1.
You talk about that situation. I talked with Ken Griffey Jr., who we'll see starting tomorrow night in Cincinnati. All 3 games will be on Fox Sports Net. But for whatever reason, Bob Boone has a tendency to put 4 straight lefties and then a switch hitter all in succession in his batting order. And that just made it perfect for Tony to bring in Steve Klein or Matthews, a left-hander.
There aren't too many managers who outthink our guy down there. The 2-2 delivery. Here he fights off a jam job. Oakland did not score at Chicago against the White Sox today. I am still in the process of reading it. It's a fascinating study by Vahe Gregorian, the Post-Dispatch, on Tony La Russa this morning. If you don't subscribe to the Post, you may want to run to your nearest convenience store today and grab a copy. A fascinating look inside Tony La Russa. There's a broken bat and a ground ball to Anderson, who throws out Carey for the second out, and Polanco over to third.
At the very least, he advanced the runner. And maybe Pujols, who is the Cardinals' leader in average, home runs, and RBIs, will step to the plate.
1 hour and 36 minutes is a key number for you Cardinal fans right now. That's how much more time you have today for the charge line to be open. It'll be open till 3 o'clock St. Louis time today. And we'll tell you about the ticket situations for some of the upcoming Cardinal home games. Pujols almost got hit, ball 1. 8,000 tickets remain for the Tony Gwynn farewell pin night on August 29th. 10,000 for the night before that, and 15,000 for the day game on August 30th. That's a low strike, 1-1.
We're going to be on the road a lot the next couple of weeks.
Yes, sir. There's a couple of great rookies. Jimmy Rollins of the Phils, and the man who will win the award, Albert Pujols. Bounces out to Rollins. And Jimmy throws him out. Rollins, that is. Roland plays next to him. Cardinals can't make anything of the 1-out double. No score after 1.
Second inning, Cardinals and Phillies, and we see a bunch of people in orange shirts rummaging around the ballpark today. Betsy, what are you doing?
I'm one of 800 volunteers down here at the ballpark selling tickets for MDA. You get a winner, you scratch it off, and in the middle of the 7th inning, the guys are going to take their shirts off, and the winners get the shirt off their back today.
They're taking their shirts off during the game.
After the game.
They're playing skinless. It'll be shirts and skins. Is that what we're doing today?
Okay, they take the shirts off after the game.
After the game. That's better. Now, what is it, $1 per? I'm 0 for 5 so far. Here's 3. I'll take 3 more chances. Bob Carpenter, try to go up to the booth because Carpenter and Al Raboski would like to spend $50 with you.
I'm on my way.
Okay, go see them. Just one of the big groups at the ballpark. We also had Mary Kate today at the ballpark today. They had the sprinklers turned on them. I thought Bob Carpenter was going to fall out of the booth. He was laughing so hard before the game, guys.
That was a great moment, I have to admit. I'll tell you, those Mary Kate gals were moving fast. 1 open. You never know what's going to happen next down here. 2 balls and no strikes to Abreu. Al, I don't know about you. I don't have $50. That's my meal money for Cincinnati for 4 days.
Oh, sure. Look at this.
You 0 for 100?
0 for 150.
And a foul ball from the bat of Bobby Abreu. Top of the 2nd underway. No winners in any of those?
Yeah, well, you know what? See, you got to spend money to lose.
Yeah, but it's a great cause.
Oh, that's right. NBA and Cardinals Care. And
I hope you didn't wear out
Rawlings.
your car key there.
Yeah, I did.
You'll be able to start your Jeep later?
My Chrysler Jeep.
Your
Jeep
Chrysler?
Chrysler Jeep. You know, it's part of our Sky Report, baby.
Well, I drive one too.
That's right. You just told me how much you like yours.
I got a brand new one.
Well, mine is too. I keep
3-1.
up with the Carpenters.
And a foul back to the screen. And the count's full to the leadoff man in the top of the 2nd. Pat Burrell and Travis Lee to follow.
And Nikki gets her new Liberty tomorrow.
Those are cool. Kind of a little scaled down version of the Grand Cherokee, right? The 3-2 from Matt, and he gets a foul ball. Yeah, the Mary Kay gals were all lined up for their pregame ceremonies. The guys hooked up the hose to hose down the infield dirt, and all of a sudden the automatic sprinklers in front of the Cardinal dugout went on, and the gals were skipping the rope down there. They did a good job. High fly ball out of play. Lots of Mary Kay gals at the ballpark today. And by the way, we're going to tell you a little bit earlier in the game today than we did last night. Cardinal Game Day magazine's available. They had 38 new subscribers call in and sign up last night. There's a 3-2. Off-speed pitch. Got him looking. A nasty breaking ball by Matt Morris. Bobby Abreu doesn't like the call. The number's 982-7336 to subscribe to Cardinal Game Day magazine. You can order the new Cardinal yearbook at a special low price if you subscribe right now. We've got the guys and gals standing by for your phone call, 982-7336.
A big breaking ball and had Abreu falling backwards. And Lance Barksdale working out this strike call.
Bouncer to short. Renteria charges. Gets in back of it and throws out Pat Burrell. 5 in a row for Matt Morris. He works fast, throws strikes, changes speeds.
You know, Bob, a lot of times I'll talk about a pitcher's image on the mound. And I love to watch Matt Morris. And
He's got that presence, doesn't he?
Yeah, you know, it's just this very confident, you know, get the ball, throw it. You know, I'm in an attack mode. And, you know, he just has fun out there because he's in command. See right there now, Lee stepping out.
That's okay.
Trying to disrupt Matt's tempo. So, you know, you paw around a little bit, reset yourself.
Cardinal defensive guys like it. Matt's got them on their toes, not on their heels.
I never could understand why a guy would walk around the mound and do different things. Just get the ball, throw it.
Fastball right by Travis Lee for strike one.
No comment?
I like it.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
Just get the ball and throw it.
Yeah, but I mean, I could never understand why someone would walk around out there.
Yeah, and, you know, go behind the mound, rub up the baseball, psych himself up, get the crowd going, wasting time. Then he goes 3-0 before he strikes somebody out. And there's a base hit. I remember you going 3-0 a lot, but you would always come back and get him.
You know. Got to have a little.
While we're on that theme, folks, the big story of the day, Michael Schumacher, driving a Ferrari, clinched his 4th World Championship today by winning the Hungarian Grand Prix.
That's right.
I told Mike Shannon about that. He said, where'd they run it? Poland?
Close, Mike.
Oh, he's a beautiful man. The Hungarian Grand Prix. I got that for your benefit. So
I heard that coming in.
I heard that
coming in.
I thought you'd be interested in your native land. Brian Hunter.
You know what was
This is Brian L. Hunter, not the Brian Hunter that played for the Cardinals. Short time. And there's a base hit up the middle. Ball well hit. Stopping at second, Travis Lee.
And say something that about Hungary. I was there in '97 visiting some military bases and went over to Bosnia also. But the very interesting thing is see Brian Hunter is having a terrific year, one of the top pinch hitters in the game this year, second best. But you know, it was interesting going to a former communist military base that now is occupied by the U.S. and NATO troops, with 5 MiGs up on stanchions out in front of it. It's kind of a little reality check.
Yeah. There are so many parts of the world where folks are not nearly as fortunate as we are here. They live in fear. Here we are sitting on a Sunday afternoon out in the wonderful weather enjoying a baseball game. Johnny Estrada, the catcher, and a little nubber left side. Polanco's got it, and that'll force the pitcher to lead off next inning. So Matt gives up a couple of 2-out hits, but they do not hurt. It'll be Edmonds, McGuire, and Renteria coming up. There's a future scorebook subscriber. Little guy getting everything done here. We were talking about this last night. Brad Henderson of the Cardinal training staff. His son has a scorebook. And here's the AutoZone division standings. Cardinals 2.5 back, but only a game and a half behind the Cubbies and a game and a half behind in that wild card race. But we were talking about the old days at Busch Stadium when the managers would have their lineups out in the morning, and when you came to the ballpark and bought the scorecard, the lineup was already printed in the scorecard. Now, you know, there could be a late scratch, and if the manager was undecided, I have a 1955 scorecard from when the Cardinals played the Dodgers one day, and there are 2 spots in the lineup where there are 2 names. So the manager was not decided yet who was going to bat 7th or 8th, and that's the way they would do it way back when.
It was that way when I was here in the 70s.
And a breaking ball is in there. Jim Edmonds, 1 ball, 1 strike. He's 2 for 7 with an RBI in the series. Big right-hander David Coggin from Covina, California, not far from Al's old stomping grounds in Orange County. And that's low and inside, 2-1. David Coggin went to high school in Upland, California. His hobby is card collecting. 2 balls and a strike. I bet he can get a few autographs here and there. 3-1.
They couldn't get Jim Edmonds right now to autograph the card. But Jimmy would do it afterwards for him, especially if he'd serve him up.
Take him deep, and I'll sign for you. He takes this one fairly deep. Going back is Burrow, and get it. Short hops the wall. Edmonds with a leadoff double. Cardinals have 2 hits, both of them extra bases.
Well, you were watching with Jim Edmonds some of the videotape of Coggin. And I guess you probably helped him get this base hit, didn't you?
I told him, Jimmy, if it's high, let it fly. If it's low, let it go. And he let it fly to left center where Edmonds has tremendous power. And here's Big Matt. A good RBI spot for Mark. You know, it's hard to say what kind of impact batting 6 in the lineup will have.
I know one thing. It's going to silence a lot of Tony's critics.
Yeah, who say he's stubborn about batting Mark 3rd or 4th all the time. Takes a breaking ball low and away. Maybe Max sees the ball better during the daytime, and he'll just jack one out of here or get an RBI single. He's got acres and acres of room in that outfield the way the Phillies are playing him. They are deep with a capital E. And that one low and inside, ball 2. What's on tap from Budweiser? Crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. Cardinals tonight, the pregame show at 5:30 from Cincinnati tomorrow. Cardinals Reds at 6. 2-0 pitch. That's in there. Dan and Al will have all the play-by-play for you from Synergy Field.
Mark McGwire is starting in the number 6 spot in the batting order for the first time this season, but he has 475 career at-bats in that spot, 4th most of any position in his career.
Ground ball, base hit. Around third, Edmonds. Cardinals take the lead on a Mark McGwire RBI single.
Well, he can't put a shift on if he's batting 6th. Because he'll get a little squibber. He's not a home run hitter. He's not a pull hitter. A little squibber to the right side that would have advanced Edmonds if Anderson would have played at normal depth. Right off the end of the bat. Put a little chalk on that pool cue. But right where the second baseman should have been playing, and slowly hit enough where Edmonds can score from second. And that's all you need, Mark. Sometimes the littlest of hits develop big opportunities.
McGwire aboard, nobody out. Renteria the batter. That was Mark McGwire's 45th RBI. His production is amazing for the number of hits he has.
41.
And the number of at-bats, 70.
41 hits.
45 RBIs and 70 at-bats.
21 home runs. So those 41.
There's a drive to left, well hit by Edgar. And that ball is over the head of Pat Burrow. McGwire chugs to third. It's a ground rule double as it hit the warning track and then bounced over the wall. And I've got to say, these Philadelphia outfielders seem to be rather slow in reacting to the ball in this weekend series.
Well, remember, Pat Burrell, left fielder, he leads the National League in assists with 15, but he is a first baseman by trade, and he played it like one now. But the best thing he did, as soon as that ball hopped over the yellow line, he threw his hands up to signify to the umpire that it is a ground rule double, and it really is a bad break for the Cardinals because McGuire would have scored on that ball.
Now, if that ball had hit off of his glove, that would not be a ground rule double. It would be playable no matter where it hit. A lot of ballparks, it goes over the wall and there's nothing to bring it back, but we have the advertising signs and some pillars out there. But it appeared he did miss it cleanly, and the runners are at second and third, nobody out. Matheny the batter, Matt Morris next, and a chance for a big Cardinal bottom of the second.
That's what you want to do. You want to do the same thing Milwaukee's done. Jump out to a 6-0 lead over Cincinnati. There's two big runners out there.
Mike lines out to Travis Lee, and good base running by the Cardinals. Nobody got doubled off. Now Matt Morris can take his shot. Bank of America takes us inside the numbers every day. Cardinals have done well at home, as has Matt Morris. That home record just about as good as anybody's in baseball.
Remember that road record is improving.
Cardinals are now 18 games over the 500 mark at home. The Giants are 18 over, two best in the National League. Runners trapped off third. McGuire gets in a rundown, but Renteria will go to third base. Mark calls timeout, but that's not football.
Yeah, but it's nice to see a little humor. And
well, Mark did the right thing. He stayed in long enough to get Renteria to trade places with him.
And he calls timeout.
One unassisted on the fielder's choice.
He said, hey, I'm not going to sign your cards unless you give me timeout, David.
So the runners at the corners now, 2 outs, and Vigna a chance. Fernando with a ground ball to second, first time up. This would be a huge time to pick up a 2-out RBI.
Well, the Cardinals have been getting a lot of 2-out RBIs on this winning streak of 10 games.
A possibility for a 7-0 homestand after a 5-1 road trip.
You know, that winning road trip was the first since early part of May, and we have already had one 7-game winning streak. It happened here at home during the first 7 games of that 10-game winning streak.
The 0-1 to Vigna. Fernando lines it to left center. Well hit, and it's caught by Pat Burrell. Off the bat of the left-hander, it came slicing back to him just a bit, and he covered some good ground there. Cardinals get 3 hits, settle for 1 run. 1-0 St. Louis. Cardinal fans, Monday, September 17th, Cards Brewers. AMC Theater Player Action Photo Night. J.D. Drew featured this time for all fans 15 and under with a paid admission. And the bottom of J.D.'s action photo has a coupon good for a free small popcorn courtesy of AMC Theaters. Monday, September 17th, when the Cards play the Brewers. Matt Morris has a lead to work with for the first time today. He'll face the opposing pitcher, David Coggin, then Jimmy Rollins and Marlon Anderson.
Hey, we got 6 Welsh boys from Tulsa that are here for the Phillies series. They've been Cardinal fans since 1943. You got Welsh boys in Tulsa, from Tulsa?
Yeah. There's Bud Smith. I talked to Bud this morning. He said he has not felt so out of sync as a major league pitcher as he did here last night. He just said he never got comfortable, never got a feel for his pitches. And then, of course, the opposing pitcher, Brandon Duckworth, got a base hit off him. Hope that doesn't happen here. But Bud said, he said, I think opposing pitchers are hitting like 900 off me this year. But I said, Bud, the one thing you did do, and you and I talked about this last night, Al, on not his best night, he battled through it, kept his team in the game, stranded a bunch of Philly runners in those key first few innings. And then the Cardinals got a win.
It's a remarkable attribute for a young man that's only 21 that can persevere when they don't have their good stuff. That usually is only your upper echelon pitchers. When they don't have their good stuff and still go out there and battle and compete at this level. And here for a 21-year-old to do that is pretty remarkable.
Rio. I told Bud, if this is your worst, we're going to have a lot of fun together for the next couple of years, because he battled his way through last night, helped the Cardinals eventually get a W. 3-1 pitch, and Matt walks the opposing pitcher. 3 of the last 4 Phillies have reached base. First time they've had their leadoff man, their true leadoff guy, to the plate now, Jimmy Rollins.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The Cardinals have some mild concern about Matt and the fact that in '99 he missed the entire season with the Tommy John surgery. Last year out of the bullpen through 50+ innings, trying to get that arm strength back. But now he's gone over 165 innings, you know, you are a little concerned about the fatigue factor, and that's why you could totally understand that dominating performance he had the last game, but he really struggled in the 9th inning.
And a one-hopper, should be 2. Renteria gave it to Villa quickly. 6-4-3 by the Cardinal defense. Even on a ball hit that sharply, you've got to hurry with Jimmy Rollins running to first.
Well, but a nice toss right there, even before he got to the bag, and plenty of time. And you've got to hurry with Rollins with his blazing speed. This guy has to hit the ball hard. You have to have a very efficient turn at second, and nobody better than Fernando Villa.
You know, Fernando caught that ball, and he had it in his throwing hand by the time he touched the second base bag.
You see the ball, the slicing action coming off the bat, and he's watching it all the way, and
I don't know why they do that.
well, it just takes away from your foot speed.
I don't know what it is about base runners these days. They do more ball watching than I've ever seen before. The 1-0 pitch to Marlon Anderson. Back it goes, and the count's even. I mean, Al, we see guys running from second to third, looking back over their shoulder to see what the right fielder's doing. I mean, what is that all about?
And then they get thrown out by a half a step, and they wonder why.
Yeah.
Make it easy on yourself. Can't be criticized if you follow the third base coach's orders.
1 ball, 1 strike, and a big curveball stays up high. The other thing is the risk of injury. What if you're trying to beat out an infield hit and you pick up the first base bag too late and you hit it wrong? I mean, you can do what Jason Kendall did and break your ankle or really seriously injure yourself, or if you don't know where the bag is early enough.
Or the defender.
That ball is well hit to right center. Pujols able to cut it off, but Marlon Anderson will have himself a 2-out double, and the double play really looms large now. That might have been able to drive in the pitcher from first, we're not sure. Or if Jimmy Rollins beats out the relay, he certainly would have scored on that play.
Pujols did a nice job to cut this ball off before it gets to the wall. And Anderson, remembering last night when Pujols threw a runner out at second base, this time he was going hard all the way and making sure that Pujols, even with that good throwing arm, couldn't nail it.
It'll be Matt Morris and Scott Rowland. Tying runs at second base, 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd. Pirates are underway at Houston. They did not score in the top of the 1st against Roy Oswalt. They're trying to avoid a sweep. Cubs will be trying to avoid a sweep later today. A 1-0. That's looked like a letter high fastball, but ball 2 from Lance Barksdale.
And the Cubbies, I believe, open a 11-game homestand
with a doubleheader tomorrow.
With a doubleheader tomorrow against Milwaukee, then the Cardinals over the weekend, and then the Florida Marlins. The Cubs have not played Florida or Atlanta yet.
2-0 pitch on the corner, and guess who the Phillies play? They have an off day tomorrow. They fly home tonight. They have the Astros coming in. And by the way, Shane Reynolds was put on the DL after being unable to start that game yesterday because of a stiff lower back. I'm sure they'll make it retroactive about 5 days back to his previous start, but that's a blow to Houston.
And a lot easier to put him on the disabled list the way Carlos Hernandez pitched.
7 shutout innings.
Kid
His
from
major league
AA.
debut, yeah. He's a left-hander. The Houston Astros love him.
About the size of or a little, maybe even a little smaller than Bud Smith.
3-1 pitch. Walked him on 4. And Matt Morris will now face Bobby Abreu, who he struck out looking first time up. Matt Morris' second walk of this inning and of the game. And the Phillies have had 5 base runners the last 2 innings. But true to form, like last night's game, they haven't been able to score any runs early in the contest. That cost them the ball game last night as Bud Smith continually wiggled his way out of some hot water.
Well, Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan a little concerned with Matt. They see how he's rushing his throws, trying to overthrow everything, and not conserving the energy or keeping his pitch count down by doing so.
Got a nice note from the Drew family here from Quincy, Illinois, Rich Gould's old stopping grounds. They'd like to send get well wishes to longtime Cardinal fan Steve Lammers, home watching after dealing with some quintuple bypass surgery. Wow, Steve, we're with you, buddy. Hang in there. Hope you're doing well. Oh, and by the way, the outside of the note says Bob and Al rock. Is this a?
We know that.
Is this a groundswell of a campaign that's starting with this rock thing? How do you rock anyway? I don't know how you do that. Want to know to Bobby Abreu. Aren't we a little old for that?
Rocking chairs, maybe, in our case.
Strike one. They say you're never too old to rock and roll. John Hewlett proves that every day.
Does that mean we fall down?
We may fall down, but we can get up. A ball and a strike. Rich Gould roaming the ballpark for us today. The last report, he was trying to find Matt Morris's dad. Here's Matt looking at the runner. Big curveball, and Bobby Abreu fouls it away, and the count goes in the pitcher's favor. 1-2. It's a lot more fun at the ballpark when the team is playing well. And the hottest team in baseball is on the field here today in St. Louis. Cardinals are 12 games over the 500 mark and only 2.5 games out of first place. That is amazing. 8 games out a week and a half ago. Here's the 1-2. Another breaking ball. Got him on the pop-up. Who's going to catch it? Renteria? Yes. Fair ball. Edgar. Nice job to cover the ground. 2 walks and a double, and the frustrated Phillies don't score. They've already stranded 4, and the Cardinals lead 1-0. Hope you're enjoying Cardinal baseball all around the Redbird Television Network today. 78 degrees at game time. Are we dreaming? On the 19th of August, here's Polanco, who doubled first time up, and he takes the high strike. There's our stage manager and very high-paid gopher, Tim Garcia. Is that a Murphy's Bleacher t-shirt? North side of Chicago, adjacent to Wrigley Field. What is wrong with you? He does live in Illinois, and we normally don't hold that against him.
Hey, the Murphys, Covey Bears, Sluggers, all those places are going to be rocking and rolling. They'll be rocking next weekend, baby.
There'll be some crying in their beer up there.
Don't be calling for tickets.
With them.
Don't be calling for tickets.
Fastball up, 1-2. We're approaching the 2 o'clock hour at Busch Stadium. Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV St. Louis, WB11. We're the flagship station of the Cardinal Television Network. 1-2 to Placido. He offers but takes, and he is such a good 2-strike hitter. No swing, says Rick Reed. Davey Phillips at second, Mark Wegner at third, and Lance Barksdale handling the balls and strikes today. Big gap in left center. A lot of room down the left field line where he doubled before. They jam him, strike 3. Polanco doesn't like the call. And that's the first strikeout for David Coggin. Coming into this game, Coggin 38 strikeouts, 19 walks, 2-to-1 ratio.
Talking about an aggressive young man who's going to pitch inside to a lot of these batters, and I think that's in there.
Pretty good pitch.
Yeah, good pitch. Not one that is the most desirable for a hitter, but it is a pitcher's pitch.
Here's Kerry Robinson, who bounced to second first time up.
Hey, Bob, need to wish Betty Cathers a happy birthday today. And this is a note from Karen and Carol Christman of Belleville, Illinois. Yeah, I remember Betty. She's always on the Cardinal cruise, and Kerry Robinson and his wife are going to go on the cruise along with Matheny's and Jack Buck, I think Walt Jocketty, Mark Lamping. I think David Pratt's even going to go.
Can they land his jet on that thing? Is that an aircraft carrier this year?
Oh, it's a great ship, the Veendam. And it's hauling America. Great time in late January.
You going to send me a postcard again?
Oh, you'll be in South Dakota, or probably Treason.
Probably Wyoming.
Wyoming, huh?
Anderson throws out Kerry Robinson, and the first two Cardinals gone here in the third. Pujols next.
I know Mike Matheny's trying to work on his buddy J.D. Drew to come, but we don't have a confirmation on that one yet.
Here's Albert, who bounced out to short first time up with a runner at third and 2 outs back in the first. Cardinals lead 1-0 on a Mark McGwire RBI single. If you joined us late, Mack is batting in the number 6 hole today. And after Edmonds doubled in the second, they swung the infield around to the left, and Mark rolled a ground ball right where the second baseman normally is, and it went into right field for an RBI hit. And Mark has 45 runs batted in this year.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to the midnight buffet. I'm going to send you all the chocolate.
And a bouncer to Roland. Easy inning for the rookie David Coggin. He gets the Birds 1-2-3. He's retired 6 in a row. 1-0 St. Louis. That looks like the Gibby statue out there. I can tell by that motion.
Oh yeah, the fall through.
Bob Gibson falling off toward the first base side after he would deliver. He made one of the most famous defensive plays in the history of Cardinal baseball in the 1964 World Series. Falling off toward first base, a smash off of his hip. He went over to get it near the third baseline and threw out a Yankee. And the next batter, who I believe was Mickey Mantle, hit a home run that tied the game, would have won it. And then the Cardinals won that game in extra innings in New York to set up the return to St. Louis and the eventual 7-game win. Top of the fourth, Pat Burrell. Big curveball by Matt Morris, and quickly it's 0-2.
Bob's got his big golf tournament down in Omaha this weekend. Well, I went there a couple years ago, and told June, my wife, I said, guess where we're going on our anniversary? Oh, what, Europe?
Yeah, Europe, the Bahamas.
I said, no, we're going
Hawaii.
to Omaha. She goes, Omaha. Well, we had such a great time.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 2 for Matt Morris. You know, Bob Gibson always exuded that scary, fiery, ultra-competitive personality. But when you get to know Gibby, he's a warm, very funny, very compassionate human being who loves to have a good laugh.
I'll tell you a story about late in the season, I think 74, when we acquired both Ron Hunt and Claude Osteen, 2 longtime adversarial relationships with the Cardinals and Bob Gibson. Both of them, when they got traded, the only thing they could say is, oh, Bob Gibson, you know, and they kind of you hated him just the way his mound presence was.
That was a changeup, and Travis Lee bounced it into right field. He's 2 for 2.
And then they said they walked in the clubhouse. They see Bob Gibson. They put out their hand to shake his, to extend their hand in friendship. He goes, introduce themselves. He goes, I know who you are, and doesn't shake their hand. And then the point was, 2 weeks later, they said, this is the greatest teammate I've ever had. You know, once you saw him in your clubhouse and he accepted you as a teammate, I mean, there was nobody better, but there was, whenever you would be in that batter's box or whatever, you just thought of Bob Gibson as the most feared competitor, and you just had a natural dislike for him until you were his teammate.
Right. Well, we saw one of our official sponsors winging overhead. Great day to fly on Southwest here in the St. Louis area. Some clouds in the sky. The sun playing peekaboo with us. It's behind the clouds right now. And a good time for a double play ball. Here's Hunter. And Al told you how well he's been swinging the bat this year. With his base hit last time, this part-time player is batting .292. See, now we used to have to make that player barehanded, Al. We didn't have gloves when I worked down there.
Well, she didn't really use hers either.
No balls, 1 strike. Hunter, tough guy to double up. This guy can fly. I really thought he would be a star in center field someday.
Well, you remember when he first broke in with the Astros. I thought he'd be a fixture there for 10, 15 years.
Went to Detroit for a while. Things didn't work out for him in that big ballpark.
But I think he's settled in as a 4th outfielder, pinch hitter, and he's done a very good job at it.
The 1-1 delivery. Big curveball. Matt Morris making like Darryl Kyle on that one. And the count's 1-2. Cardinals have already turned 1 double play today. And that helped. Because last inning, the Phillies had 2 walks around a double and did not score.
Well, even when Matt came out of Seton Hall, all the scouts raved about his breaking ball, one of the best college breaking balls they had seen.
A little bit up and in. Last night they stranded 5 runners in the first 3 innings, 6 in the first 4, left the bases loaded in the 6th and the 7th, and stranded 13 base runners in a 6-3 loss. The count's 2-2. Vigna cheating a little bit up the middle. Renteria at shortstop depth, and a pop-up on the infield. Polanco has got the early read on it, and he catches the fair ball for the 2nd out. Matt Morris has been making big pitches when guys have been on base, and if he can get Johnny Estrada, the catcher, that'll force the pitcher to lead off for a 2nd time today. Matt Morris, his only losing month of the season was July, when he was 2-3 with a 5.10 ERA. But he lost one of his games 2-1 against the Astros. Lost a 7-5 game in Chicago when he pitched well early. And that one's off the plate inside. I see Matt pitching today, so he'll probably pitch Friday in Chicago, huh?
Yep, that's usually the way it works. And of course, with that great 11-2 home record, he has had his problems on the road. 4-5 with a 5.27 and 12 road starts, but I think he'll answer the challenge of the Cubbies next Friday from Wrigleyville.
Yeah, what will the standings look like by then? Cubs playing a doubleheader tomorrow against the Brewers. They don't even know who they're throwing in the first game tomorrow. They know they're throwing John Lieber in the nightcap. He pitched a brilliant complete game at Houston on Wednesday night. He's 16-5. The Milwaukee Ball Club will throw Alan Leveralt in the first game tomorrow and Jamie Wright in the nightcap at Wrigley. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Long look. You know, it's not impossible. If the Cardinals win today and the Cubs lose, the Cardinals could be in 2nd place by the end of the day tomorrow, depending on what the Cubbies do in that doubleheader and what the Cardinals do at Cincinnati in a single game. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McGuire's got it cleanly for the out, robbing Estrada of an extra base hit and probably an RBI. Big Matt coming up big, driving in a run and saving a run, and he gets to bat second in a moment.
Bottom of the 4th, Cardinals lead 1-0. Time now for the Edward Jones quote quiz. Cardinals fans, do you know who said we Americans are a peculiar people? We are for the underdog, no matter how much of a dog he is. Go to www.edwardjones.com/quote quiz And you can play the Edward Jones Quote Quiz Contest. Chance to win tickets to an upcoming Cardinals game or maybe get some autographed memorabilia from San the Man Inc. We Americans are a peculiar people. We're for the underdog, no matter how much of a dog he is. www.edwardjones.com.
Hey, Rich, you've been trying to sell that one for 3 days now. You better.
Got to go to this website. Go now. If you go now, I can get a different quiz.
They'll be happy they did.
They'll be happy. That's right.
Bottom of the 4th inning, Jim Edmonds leads off. Big Mac and Renteria to follow. All 3 of those guys hit safely in the 2nd. Jimmy got it started with a leadoff double to left center. He goes left field again. This one high and out of play, and the count quickly 0-2. Astros got a run in the bottom of the 1st against the Pirates' Todd Ritchie. Pirates did not score top of the 2nd. And the Astros playing good baseball all of a sudden. They lost 2 or 3 to the Cubs, and now they're going for their 4th straight win. But that's the way it should be. Inside with a breaking ball. You want to play your best when the other clubs are playing their best. And the Cards are the best of the best right now.
Some people were criticizing the Cardinals, saying, well, they were beating bad teams. Well, Philadelphia is the first-place club.
There's a shot to right center. Is Edmonds thinking about 2? He better stop. Well covered by Bobby Abreu, even though his short hop throw got away from Marlon Anderson. And Jimmy Edmonds now 4 base hits and 9 at-bats in this series.
He told me yesterday he's just doing so much better, and of course that ball down and in after a pitch kind of wakes you up a little bit, spinning you around inside, and you can't leave that ball down and in for him. You know, said that the Phillies were a first-place club. They were until we knocked them into 2nd place.
Correct.
But if we would have a commanding lead if we just would have beat those bad teams in the first half.
You know, and I had people telling me last week, yeah, but the Cardinals, you know, that 5-1 road trip, Montreal and the Mets. And I said to them, when's the last time you remember the Cardinals going to those 2 ballparks and coming away with 5 wins? Those have always been 2 of our biggest nightmares on the road, Olympic Stadium and Shea Stadium. And that set the tone for what's happened here at home this week with 6 in a row. Big Mac's got an RBI today. It's about time for him to pound one out of here. He takes it up and in, ball 3. Mac's been ahead in the count both times. Coggin was 2-0, then 2-1 last time before Mark got his RBI hit, and now it's 3-0. You think that green light is blazing? We'll see. Outside, 2 on, nobody out. And Mark's had 2 good at-bats today.
Vern Rule is going to wear a path out to the mound. This is the first walk by Coggin, but he breaks his own rule of trying to retire hitters with 3 or less pitches. A base hit, and then now the walk, just like in the 2nd inning when the Cardinals had 3 consecutive base hits and scored their lone run.
And a reminder, folks, the charge line's open for another 45 minutes today. Closes at 3 o'clock. Great seats available for all the Cardinals' upcoming home stands and ball games. And you can always find out more about Cardinal tickets or everything else like stats on STLCardinals.com. Today we're going to tell you about the latest Cardinals stuff. You know, like caps and shirts and all that fun things the Cardinals have. The official source for Cardinal merchandise, STLCardinals.com. You can get a Sunday cap. We can't guarantee it'll be as grimy as Steve Klein's, but connect with it, STLCardinals.com. Big spot for Renteria. These 3 batters are now 5 for 5 today in getting on base.
You think they put Steve Klein's caps where the other ones? Or do they put it in
they don't want to
hermetically sealed
They don't want to
capsule?
contaminate the supply, Al.
I wouldn't think so.
His cap is quarantined. Renteria can't catch up with that outside pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm sure on www.stlcardinals we could probably offer not his gamer, but we could get a Steve Klein cap that he could put next to it and have it be contaminated.
1-1 to Edgar, who doubled first time up. 2-1. I wonder if we'll have a Steve Klein bobbing head dowel one of these years. That thing will have a bad looking lid on it if we do.
The whole body will bobble.
He is going to kill us when he hears about it.
Oh, I hope so.
2 balls and a strike. Inside target. Here it comes. Renteria taps it foul. Marlins did not score in the first at Colorado. They're just underway. There are 4 National League games in the Pacific time zone today. Look at that little Cardinal gal. She's got her Redbird beads on. Got that spoon malt down there. Rooting for a Cardinal rally here in the 4th. The 2-2. Right field line. That is a fair ball. Into the corner. Edmonds scores. McGuire to third. 2-0 Cardinals. Edgar continues his torrid month of August with his 42nd RBI.
And a little smile by Tony La Russa. You know, that's hard for him to keep that very long, but look at that, right off the end of the bat, slicing down into the right field corner. Abreu actually played this ball very well, and the fact that he got to it so quickly and holds Renteria just to a single. But Edmonds scores the second Cardinal run, the second run of the game, and McGuire goes over to third. So with nobody out, another opportunity to pick up at least a cheap run.
Mike Matheny would love to atone for last time up. With second and third, nobody out. He lined out to first in a soft little liner. Trying to get that run home from third with nobody out. The 1-0 delivery. And a funny swing on a nasty breaking ball by David Coggin. Mike has 31 RBIs. He has a 4-game hitting streak. 5 for his last 15. Cardinals in a great spot here to add to the lead. And he can't get that one. A breaking ball well off the plate. And right now, Mike Matheny looks a little overmatched by this big, strong, young right-hander.
And then you see why he's taking his time right now. Just kind of regroup, refocus on swinging at the strikes.
Yeah, what Mike may need to do is just thinking about contact, try to hit that ball to right field. He's not going to pull this guy. Outside target, 1-2. There's a good job to lay off that one. And the count goes even.
I think that was a lot of his mindset, was trying to hit the ball to right field, but expanding his strike zone and going after pitches that he really shouldn't have.
2-2 the count with nobody out.
Come in on him.
Low ball 3. Now Matt Morris on deck. Goggins going to have to throw him a strike. Doesn't want to load him up even with the pitcher next.
Mike Matheny just has to sit there and realize he can only swing at a strike.
3-2 pitch. First and third. Nobody out. Ken Edgar goes diving back in. And he really wasn't that far off the bag, but he was taking no chances. There's a ton of hitting room over on that right side with Travis Lee holding the runner and Marlon Anderson cheating up the middle for a double play possibility. The 3-2. Did he go? Yeah. Home plate umpire calls him out. Matheny gone. Mike is 0 for 2, and that's 2 Ks for Coggin. And we'll see if Matt Morris can deliver an RBI.
You know, Coggin, as we mentioned, trying to realize don't try to strike everybody out. But this was the time he needed to, and really it was as much Matheny striking himself out as the pitcher. The 2 pitch was ball 4, and he offered at it.
Well, here's Matt, who has 7 hits and 4 RBIs this year. Bounce back to the pitcher first time up. Doubtful with McGuire the runner at third, but the squeeze is a possibility. The infield is halfway and a little more than halfway, really. Matt takes a breaking ball that drops in for a strike. Good speed at first. McGuire's at third, and the outfield around to the right with a big gap in left center. And we've seen, and now with no 0-2, probably not, but we've seen some managers with the pitcher, they will have a sacrifice in this situation. Leave the runner at third and try to bunt the other guy down to second, even if it's the second out. Then you give your leadoff guy a shot. But Tony has had Matt Morris swinging here.
Stay out of the double play, and so you just put the sacrifice on. The runner at third does not blindly run a suicide. He just holds and maybe can see what happens on the play, determine whether he wants to come home or not. I just stay at third.
0-2 the count. Runners going, and Matt bunts it foul. So Tony did go with what we were talking about, but it was deep in the count, and that's a strikeout for the second out of the inning. And of course Edgar has to come back. It'll be first and third, 2 outs for Vigna, and the only critical part of the Cardinal game today that we could possibly cite has been the inability to bring runners home from third base with less than 2 outs. The Cardinals have now had 4 at-bats in that situation, and they're 0 for 4.
And at both times it's the 8th and 9th place hitters.
So maybe Vigna delivers. Fernando hit the ball well last time up, but Pat Burrell robbed him of an extra base hit and an RBI or 2 with a nice running catch in the left center field gap. Roland has to respect Vigna's bunting ability. That's why he's on the grass at third for ball 1. Here's how shallow he is from our robotic camera. Tony West will pan over to the right side and show you that ton of hitting room if Vigna can get a ball to pull.
Oh, Tony's working again?
Yeah, no football game today, so Tony's back with us.
Oh, he's working, huh?
The 1-0 pitch. Now we have 2 people that want to kill us. And a foul ball is into the seats. And that's probably a conservative estimate.
I just reminded Tony yesterday that his name is never mentioned on a football broadcast, but numerous times we compliment him and his fine work. He hides underneath that little tarp. He's a little tiny guy, and he can move that camera with the best of it.
And a breaking ball of the backdoor variety gets Fernando for strike 2. Well, we love our Bud Sports guys and gals who do a wonderful job of bringing our Cardinal fans baseball here at Busch Stadium. We miss them when we go on the road. There are a lot of good local crews around baseball, but these guys are the best. Here's the 1-2 to Vigna. Instead, a high throw, and Travis Lee had to reach up to get it. This date in Schnook's baseball history.
You know about this one.
Eddie Goodell. Bill Veeck promising local beer distributors something memorable would happen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That'll even the count. Eddie Goodell, of course, the commissioner then said, no, that's it. He's out of here.
You know, Eddie Goodell's uniform is in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he didn't have a number. It was a fraction, wasn't it?
It was a fraction, but actually, Cardinals majority owner, Bill DeWitt Jr., and that ball hit Fernando. It was his uniform. He was the bat boy. His parents owned or his family owned the Browns, and he used Bill DeWitt Jr.'s uniform for Eddie Goodell, and then after that appearance, they put it in the Hall of Fame.
Fernando Vigna hit by a pitch for the second time in this series. Or was he?
Trying to stride into it.
It looked like it hit his bat. That ball hit Fernando's bat.
Sell it, Fernando. Be an actor. Start yelling at the pitchers. Start doing something. Start limping.
Or just say, ouch.
I mean, he said it was hit him on the arm, and you see it's the bat.
And then when Fernando slipped, it may have given the umpire the impression he was going down in pain. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and Polanco could bust this thing open now. He won't do it on that one. And a little ground ball, Anderson to Rollins. And the Cardinals settle for 1 run again. There were 2 hits, a walk and a hit batter in the inning. The Redbirds have stranded 6, and after 4, it's now 2-0 St. Louis.
Welcome back. So many of the folks make baseball pleasurable for you, for us, Brian Bartow, Brad Henge, and, of course, our friend Marty Hendon. Cardinals getting ready to hit the road. Marty, when they come back, what do you got for us promotion-wise?
Well, the last visit to St. Louis Rich of Tony Gwynn, the great star who's retiring. On Tuesday the 28th, we're going to honor him pregame. We have a very special, unique gift for him. And we're going to have Stan Musial and Lou Brock, two of the other living members of the 3000 Hit Club, to help present it. The next day, on Wednesday the 29th, the first 30,000 fans get a special farewell Tony pin.
And, of course, you give stuff away all year long. Do you have one favorite promotion? Is there something you like? The bobblehead dolls went nuts this year, didn't they?
Bobbleheads did well, and we've still got plenty of tickets left for the game on the 18th. They're all good because they all make our fans happy and get them to want to come out and enjoy the good times we have here.
Marty Hendon, he's here every game, guys. Does a wonderful job.
Cardinals very involved in the community. And a bouncing ball to third. It's Polanco over to McGuire. The Cardinals get the opposing pitcher. Marty Hendon and our great marketing department masterminding a lot of the great giveaways and promotions here at the ballpark for many, many years. And we go to the top of the order for Jimmy Rollins, our Bommarito Automotive Group leaderboard. National League leaders in wins. Matt Morris has a chance to step a little closer up among the elite today. John Lieber will pitch tomorrow. Randy Johnson pitched last night.
And Maddox pitched Friday night.
Kurt Schilling is not pitching today. When the Cubs throw Julian Tavares at Arizona later, it'll be Brian Anderson, their left-hander, who has not pitched that well. He is 3-8. Here's Rollins, who, after having a big night Friday, 4 for 5, has gone 0 for his last 6 in this series, and that's okay. I'd like him to get out of town and then take on the Astros starting Tuesday at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. Jimmy takes one up high, 2-0. Astros have been batting for a long, long time in the bottom of the second, leading already 1-0 against those Bucks. And it's 3-0 and a pitch off the plate inside. Our graphics guru, Doug Stanton, is dialed into whatever's going on around baseball. If something happens in Houston you need to know about, Doug will get it to us, and we'll get it to you ASAP. The 3-0 pitch. It's in there. Marlon Anderson next. Matt Morris had a 1-2-3 first inning, but it's been a struggle ever since. The Phillies have had 6 base runners, 5 stranded, and a pop-up on the infield. Fernando Vina says, "This is my side of the diamond." He's got it for the second out.
Second baseman, Marlon Anderson.
Seattle about to beat the Yankees again, leading 6-1 after 6 in New York. Everybody calling that the preview of the American League Championship Series. And if Seattle wins that game, Al, on the 19th of August, they'll have 89 wins. They're on a pace for 110 or so, which is almost unheard of these days. I mean, anything 100 or 102 is considered phenomenal.
Well, they're chasing the Yankees record every couple of years back.
Here's Marlon Anderson, 1 for 2 with a double. He's hit safely in 8 of his last 9 games.
With the Yankees going all the way through the postseason, have 125 wins.
That was really amazing. Marlon is 2 for 3. And the Phillies have now put 5 hits on the board today. They've had the benefit of 2 walks, haven't taken advantage of those. Cardinals have 6 base hits, and the batter will be Scott Rowland with 2 outs. And a dangerous batter who could tie the game with 1 swing. He's hit 17 home runs.
And he's 1 for 11 in the series, and that one was a home run. 125th of his career, 17th of the season. He's from Indiana, and so is Larry Miller, who's enjoying the game from Montgomery, Indiana.
Scott hails from Jasper, Indiana. He gets jammed, a little flare. Renteria gets there. Phillies strand a runner. They've left 6. And they just can't get 2-out hits to bring in runs home in this series. 2-0 Cards. Beautiful day downtown. Mississippi looks blue today. It's not the muddy Mississippi on this day. WB11 News at 9. Coming up tonight on our flagship station. Jeff Bernthal and the whole crew. Dan Issa with sports. Melody Moon, Marquina Brown. They've got all the weekend news, weather, and sports for you tonight on WB11 News at 9.
And Bob, the Pirates got to run.
Yeah, but they're down by 6 now, Al. We told you the Astros have been batting for a while. They got 6 in the bottom of the second. And they lead the battling Bucks 7-1. Cardinals aren't going to get any help from Pittsburgh this weekend. They're getting plenty from Arizona, though. D-backs and the Cubs will play a little later. Inside to Kerry Robinson. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kerry 0 for 2, but he's having a good series. 4 out of 8. And a batting average still at .314. Be a nice time for him to get a leadoff hit here in the 5th. But he golfs a low inside pitch high in the air for Jimmy Rollins. Well, the Suntrup Automotive family, a wonderful family-owned business here in St. Louis who sells a lot of cars. And they've got trivia for us today. We were talking about wins, Al. What's the most the Cardinals have ever had?
Well, that's a good one.
I'd have to say that would maybe be from one of those teams in the 60s or maybe the 40s.
And then you're talking about a 154 game schedule.
Correct.
Versus 162. What would you say it is?
Because they went to the 162 game schedule. Was that when they expanded in 69? I think that's when the schedule expanded as well.
Sounds good enough.
I think it was before that. I think it was when they expanded in 62 actually, with the Mets and the Padres. Because I think the Cardinals were playing 162 game schedules when they won it in 64, 67, and 68. And in 64, it's a good thing it was, because they needed every one of those games to win the pennant by 1 game on the last day of the season.
What would your
over
guess
the Phillies and the Reds?
Jeez. I'll say 107.
Well, I know that goes way back before the 60s if it's 107. Maybe the Gas House Gang, one of those clubs?
I'd say one of those teams in about 42.
You're getting hints from the truck.
No,
yes, you are. 2-2. And a swing and a miss. Albert is gone for the second out. Before we get in a fight, let's have the answer.
Before you lose?
1942, was it? Stan the Man was in his first full year as a major leaguer. 106.
Ah, see, I was close.
They didn't help. They said 42.
You did that to throw me off, just so I wouldn't think you had been given all the numbers. And I'm easily thrown off.
Tom, me, defend me. You didn't give me the answer.
That's a good number, 106. So that ball club was 106 and 48 that year. 58 games over the 500 mark, with a young Stan Musial and the Cardinals starting a great run through those 40s. They would win in 44 and 46 as well, beating the Brownies in 44 and the Red Sox in 46.
And the Seattle got 55 or 6 games over 500 yet? Are they about a?
They are 53 over going into today. So the Cardinals of that year were 58 over in a 154 game schedule. That is incredible. Edmonds takes one outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And of course, that 46 series, Enos Slaughter's mad dash on the Harry Walker base hit to beat the Red Sox from first to home on a long single. It was really great here back in the 70s. The Cardinals had an old-timers game. Johnny Pesky was here, and some of the Red Sox. They reenacted that play. They put Enos on first and Harry Walker in the batter's box, and it was amazing. And they did do a little slow pitch to help it out. The 1-2. Edmonds fouls it back. Jimmy 2 for 2. And Harry Walker hit a base hit up the middle. And as the crowd roared on Old Timers Day, Enos, not as fast as he had in 46, got from first to home as they reenacted that famous play from Cardinal World Series lore.
I remember a game in San Diego in the 70s, old timers game, where Enos dove for a ball in right field.
Swing and a miss on a high pitch, and Edmonds is gone. The Cardinals go 1-2-3. This game into the 6th inning. Pretty good pitching matchup. Matt Morris and the Birds have a 2-run lead. How about the AutoZone Sweet Deal Sweepstakes? Stop by any St. Louis area AutoZone. Enter to win 4 tickets to the best seat in the house right behind us up here in the broadcast suite. Our guys up there are having a great time today. Watching Al Roboski hard at work. It's your chance to have the Cardinals experience of a summer or maybe even a lifetime. Stop by any AutoZone store today and enter. You can watch Al take his stretch in between innings.
Better watch out. Those guys up there are from WashU's professional drinking team.
Is that a major over there on the hilltop? We know they're smart guys from WashU. Up and away to Bobby Abreu, top of the 6th, underway. Hope you're having a good time with us today. Cardinals lead 2-0. Tough inning for Matt. On a changeup, he gets a pop-up, and it's playable for Kerry Robinson. Kerry's got it for the first out. That's one tough hitter down. 2 more, Burrell and Lee to go. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Cardinals may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinal Baseball, a production of Bud Sports and an exclusive presentation of Fox Sports Net. And a fastball in there to Pat Burrell, who's 0 for 2 with a ground ball and a strikeout. Nat is working quickly now.
It seems like he's kind of hit his stride. He kind of struggled there for a while, but now he's got back into an aggressive mode. Maybe kind of wore himself down to where he's found his release point.
Big breaking ball. That's a swing and a miss, and the tag, and 2 quick outs here in the 6th. Matt Morris is now retired. 7 of the last 8 batters and 9 of the last 11.
0-2 pitch. You throw a breaking ball that's off the plate and let a hitter get himself out.
Here's Travis Lee, who's 2 for 2. He's got a pair of singles, 1 to center, 1 to right. And he goes the other way and bounces it into the Phillies dugout. Phillies will fly home tonight. They have an off day tomorrow, and the Astros will open in Philly. Well, evidently we have a newly engaged couple. Looks like he held up a sign that said, "Jesse, will you marry me?" That's what happens when you can't afford to get it on the scoreboard. Maybe he looked up Marty Prather, the sign man in Springfield, and had a little sign made. And a ground ball. Another off-speed pitch by Matt Morris. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies in the top of the 6th. Morris is on a roll. We've got wedded bliss in the offing at the ballpark today. 2-0 Cardinals.
Well, the Cardinals lead 2-0 after 5.5 innings. And Mark McGwire stands up here.
He's had a good day so far. A couple of good ABs with an opposite field RBI single and a walk in the 4th. What's that, 3 RBI singles for Mark now this year?
That's right. When he got back in the 2nd inning, his first at bat.
He gets jammed, and that ball's got a chance to fall, but it does into the glove of Hunter, who loses it. And Mark McGwire's going to have his 2nd single of the day and a nice looking slide back into first.
Wow, he's just a singles hitter now. But hey, Cardinal fans, we do have something special for you, so mark your calendars now for the Cardinal 2 Mark McGwire bobblehead giveaway days. First, on Sunday, September 16th, when the Cardinals play the Houston Astros, the first 20,000 fans aged 15 and under with a paid admission receive a Mark McGwire bobblehead doll. So that's against Houston, so that's a great series anyway. Then on Tuesday, September 18th, when the Cardinals play the Milwaukee Brewers, the first 20,000 age 16 and over with a paid admission receive a Mark McGwire bobblehead.
That's a fair ball from Renteria. McGwire will bobble his way over to third. A double for Edgar, and the Birds are in business here in the 6th inning.
McGwire and Edgar are perfect. McGwire 2 for 2 with a walk and an RBI. Renteria's 3 for 3, a pair of doubles and an RBI. And that's Mark McGwire bobblehead courtesy of Sports Service and Coca-Cola. Tickets are expected to go quickly, so get them soon. For tickets, call 314-421-2400. There's that base hit down in the left field corner. Another double for Edgar. And this is, and all the even innings, 2, 4, and 6, the Cardinals' first 3 hitters, well, first 2 hitters are here in the 6th, first 3 hitters in the 2nd and 4th have all reached base safely. So the bullpen is active for the first time. Another run out by Vern Rule. See who's stirring down there in the Phillies pen.
That's Cliff Polite.
Cliff Polite.
Who deserved better than what happened to him last night.
Yeah, he took the loss in that ball game as he was not around for Dennis Cook to serve up the 3-run home run to Miguel Cairo.
Here's Matheny. Well, Mike's got to come through here. He's had a man on third with less than 2 outs every time he's batted today. Lined out in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. 3rd time, will it be a charm? We hope so. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. And the Cardinals a chance to really take command of this game now. With Houston leading 8-1 at home, Cardinals need to post some more numbers on the board. Let the Astros know this ball club's not going away. That's foul and evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We also got that left-hander, young left-hander up in the bullpen.
Is that Eddie Oropesa?
Yes, it is. Oropesa. Sounds younger than he looks.
Oh, those left-handers, you never know about those guys. The 1-1 delivery. Matheny up the middle, base hit. That'll score a couple, it appears. No, Oquendo holds the runner. Good decision with nobody out. And the Cardinals lead 3-0. Mike Matheny delivers.
That away, Mike. Now 1 for 3 with those guys in scoring position. You'll remember the first 2. And I agree with you. It was the right decision for Oquendo to hold up Renteria. Ball up and in. He hits it back over the mound, takes that high hop, so it takes a little while for it to get to Brian Hunter. You see him aggressively waving at McGwire and holding up Renteria.
Renteria down the line as Matt Morris took strike 1. They were charging from the corners. This is that situation we talked about earlier where maybe you sacrifice bunt, not intending to score the runner at third, but avoiding the double play by getting the runner at first 90 feet farther. Matt shows bunt early, now pulls the bat back.
Matty
stabbed at it. That ball was well out of the strike zone. Matt struck out trying to bunt last time.
And Oquendo now is verbally going to talk with Morris. 9 sacrifice bunts, but it was with a much different form that he's displayed right here this afternoon. Hard to bunt a ball when you're jumping around like this.
0-2 the count. Still wants to bunt, and he does. Renteria stays at third. Sacrifice is good, and that throw goes to a guy nowhere near the bag. Travis Lee lucky that Matt Morris wasn't by him by the time he caught that throw.
Exactly right, because Travis Lee, the first baseman, was up in front of the cutout area, and the pitcher's throw, see Anderson, the second baseman's right there, but he throws it to the first baseman in front of the bag, and he tags Matt as he goes by.
Well, a good job by Matt Morris. Runners at second and third, 1 out. And again, the Cardinals looking for that one hit that can really bust the game open. They're going to walk Fernando and pitch to Polanco with the bases loaded.
That's fine.
Tried that Friday night, and Larry Boa walked back to the clubhouse a loser.
Polanco got the sacrifice fly in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Cardinals, who've already stranded 6, including 3 2 innings ago, will have a chance to really take command now, leading 3-0. They've out-hit the Phillies 9-5. And it'll be Polanco batting with the bases loaded, only 1 out. So after his best inning, a 1-2-3 fifth, David Coggin running into lots of trouble here in the 6th inning. It'll be Polanco. A double in 3 trips today. Polanco 4 for 12 in the series. Renteria's at third. He doubled. Matheny an RBI single. He's at second after the sacrifice. And Vina intentionally walked, stands at first.
Well, with his ability to put the ball in play, most Cardinal fans are very comfortable with him here.
Many would say he's the one guy we'd like to have the most. Looked like a little backup slider that caught the inside corner. Placido Polanco's next RBI will be his 30th of the year. He drove in 39 last season. Right off the end of the bat on a good breaking ball.
Coggin has been tough when he's got guys in scoring position. He's really battled and kept the damage to a minimum. Slider, a little bit off speed, great location, a little bit of movement to it.
No balls, 2 strikes. Inside target, and he just got a piece of it. You've got 3 minutes left with the charge line open if you'd like to give the Cardinals a quick call and make some ticket plans. 421-2400. It'll close at 3 o'clock. Maybe the Cardinals will be ahead 5-0 by then. This at bat may tell the story. The 0-2 delivery, low and away, ball 1. They're going to jam Polanco again. Fly ball, short center. Hunter there. The runner is Renteria. He's going to be sent. He is out at the plate. Johnny Estrada on a throw that took a big hop. A good job of corralling the ball, tagging Renteria, and then holding on. A calculated gamble by Oquendo with 2 outs after the catch, and the inning is over. The Cardinals still lead 3-0. And a tough play for the catcher.
Yeah, he got that high bounce, and Renteria just slid into him, and he kind of sealed him off. The umpire just waiting to see if he holds on to the ball. Brian Hunter, a strong throw. There's that high bounce, and you thought Renteria might get underneath the tag, but Lance Barksdale said no, he doesn't. Watch these kids over the dugout. That little guy. Look at those guys, man. Those guys are future Phi Delts from Wash U, man. Those guys could join that professional drinking team.
Not happy young men. Cardinals didn't squawk about the call. It's straight up 3 o'clock here in St. Louis. And you're watching Cardinal baseball on KPLR TV. St. Louis, WB11, the flagship station, Cardinal Television Network. Bob Carpenter, Al Roboski, and Rich Gould in the yard today. Well, here's where Matt Morris, who just got another run to work with, has to set down the Phillies. Bottom of the order, Al. Here's where you really want to just shut the door and then tell them now you've only got 2 innings left.
Absolutely, but you know, a little bit of timely hitting, which we have talked about throughout the winning streak. They could have a commanding lead of at least, probably 2 or 3 runs, and all 3 of those scoring opportunities are the 2nd, 4th, and 6th.
Well, Mike Matheny did deliver in the 6th to give the Cardinals a 3-0 lead. Matt with another breaking ball. and the count's 2-1.
It's like Ricky Bottalico may be coming in this game for Philadelphia. Isn't that Ricky?
Haven't seen Ricky in this series yet.
No.
Former Cardinal closer. And a ball out to left center. It'll play for Kerry Robinson. Matt Morris, 5 in a row, and 9 of the last 10 now. That is the excitable Ricky Bottalico in the bullpen. He wears his emotions on that sleeve of his, doesn't he?
Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that. Show people you got a pulse and a heartbeat, and show them that you care, good and bad.
Phillies will bat their catcher Johnny Estrada now. Kevin Jordan, who plays for Philadelphia, will bat in the number 9 hole next. For the pitcher David Coggin. Matt Morris is even with him. Johnny Estrada, he's the one who gashed that ball last time over to the right side that Mark McGwire picked off the ground. That saved a run.
He joined the Phillies on May the 13th. They're ranked tied for 4th among National League rookies and RBIs with 28, 5th with hits, 54, 5th with slugging percentage.
Line drive and unreachable for Polanco. Phillies have their first hit since the 5th. It's a 1-out single for Jordan, and that may change their pinch hitting approach here, and evidently it will. They will go with Felipe Crespo now. Either way, it'll finish David Coggin, who went 6 innings, gave the Cardinals 3 runs on 9 hits, walked a couple, 1 intentional, and struck out 5. Hit a batter. And Felipe Crespo will be the pinch hitter. There's a look right up our third base camera, looking right up that first base line. That's a great vantage point our fans have over there in the field boxes. Felipe Crespo started the ball game last night, had a 1-for-3 night with an RBI. Came over from the Giants. Matt Morris ahead of him, and he misses up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pirates didn't score in the top of the 5th at Houston. They trail 8-1, about to be swept in that weekend series. That would be a 4-game sweep for the Astros.
That's still throwing hard, 93 miles an hour. Batter he's facing came over from the Giants, traded for Wayne Gomes and cash. Crespo has 3 hits for the Phillies. 2 of them were pinch hit doubles.
This ball game still up for grabs, but there's a big out. High in the air to shallow center. Edmonds is there, 2 down. Phillies in the last game and a half have stranded 19 base runners, and if you count the entire series, they have stranded 27 in this series. Larry Bow is starting to think Busch Stadium must be Gilligan's Island. A lot of guys stranded, can't get off, can't get home. And the Cardinals have taken full advantage with a 4-3 win Friday night, 6-3 last night, and a 3-0 lead today. There's a fastball in there for a strike. Jimmy Rollins is now 0 for his last 7 in the series. And a breaking ball hit off to the left, and Matt's ahead 0-2 now. Couple of finals starting to roll in American League. Angels have been playing well. They beat the Indians today. Anaheim is in that wild card race. Seattle killing the Yankees 10-2 as New York bats in the bottom of the ninth. And the Royals were beaten 4-3 at Detroit. Those are your finals. How's that Minnesota ball club doing? Well, they're down 4-1 at home today after breaking an 8-game losing streak last night. Kids chasing some souvenirs, and one of them got one. How about that? That'll make his day. And the 0-2 to Jimmy Rollins is up and away from Matt Morris. In the bottom of this inning, the Cardinals left Kerry Robinson, Albert Pujols, and Jim Edmonds. And if anybody gets on, that swinging singles guy, Mark McGwire, who has 2 singles and a walk today. The 1-2 delivery. Got him on the inside corner. What a fastball from Matt Morris. It's only his 4th K of the day, but that's okay. 7th inning stretch time. Cardinals lead 3-0. You could be the Southwest Airlines family of the game. You might win Cardinal tickets. Great prizes. Send us your name, address, and phone number to Southwest Airlines family of the game. P.O. 771192 and the zip 63177. You won't have to sit downstairs with your kids hanging all over you. You'll get to go upstairs and sit in the Southwest Airlines family of the game box. Have a great time with Fred Bird and enjoy Cardinal baseball and maybe take home some wonderful prizes as the Southwest Airlines family of the game. That's a real neat promotion the Cardinals and Southwest have had for the last few years. And a few years ago, Ricky Bottalico, most recently in '99, was with the Cardinals. He had 20 saves that year.
Yeah, he has. And see the numbers this year. He spent a stint on the disabled list with the inflammation of the shoulder. Left-handed batters are batting .339 against Ricky, but he has done a good job of controlling the right-handers at .202 average. And his career ERA against the Cardinals is 0.83. That's the best ERA of any team.
After fouling off a pitch down and in, Kerry Robinson swings and misses on one, up and away, and the count's 0-2. Kerry, Pujols, and Edmonds here in the Cardinals 7th. And it's 1-2.
Steve Klein, hat and all.
Here's the 1-2. It's low and in, low and away rather. Well, Kerry an 0 for 3 today, but he still had a very good weekend, 4 out of 9. He has really earned himself some significant playing time for the Cardinals lately. He gets jammed and fouls it back, and that'll reach the seats. Astros have scored again. And after 5.5 at 10-run field, they only need one more.
Well, that's 10 runs.
Yeah, when you combine the 9 and 1.
Well, another aspect of Kerry Robinson's game that really has vastly improved is his defense. Got that great speed, tracking down balls now, and Jim Edmonds was the first one to point out to me is that his arm is a lot stronger than we were led to believe.
2-2 delivery. Kerry really has to drop the bat head on a lot of those low and inside pitches because he really jams the plate. Cardinal fans having a good time down there with a souvenir. But watch when he steps in. He will get right up on home plate. And so that down and in pitch is where the Phillies have been working him today. That one was out over the plate a bit. A breaking ball from Ricky, and Kerry fouled it back.
Gets the ball out away from him. He can take that ball to the opposite field. Every now and then he'll catch a ball down and in. Hits with a little bit of a closed stance, so he blocks himself off just a bit.
He takes it low, 3-2. Well, we know Matt Morris is pitching well. We know the bullpen's been great lately. But it sure would be nice to see another run or two here in the last couple of innings. The old axiom is you always want to be up by 4 or more so the grand slam can't tie you or beat you.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they may even take him out of this game.
That's a good leadoff walk by Kerry Robinson. He was behind in the count, 0-2, remember? And he battles back for a leadoff walk. So barring the double play, Mark McGwire will bat in this inning. It'll be Pujols and Edmonds before that.
You think about it, Bob, you know, Matt kind of labored a little bit in this game. He's really struggled through an awful lot of pitches his last time out. He's gone deep into this contest, 7 innings, 7 shutout innings. So I think that Steve Klein is warming up and will be coming into this game to face, and it is a left-handed batter, the first one, Marlon Anderson.
Yeah, and 2 of their 3 with Abreu to follow Scott Rowland.
So I think Matty's day's done, and part of the conservation program to save him and keep him fresh for the rest stretch run.
0-1 to Pujols. Alberto for 3 today. He hacks one to right center. He's not over anymore. Kerry Robinson screaming around the bases. He will score without a play. 4-0 Cardinals. And that looked like a 100-yard dash by Kerry Robinson.
Scoring from first, just like Enos Slaughter, but he did it on a single, which most people said should have been a double. But Pujols hits it out to the gap and off to the races for Kerry Robinson. He's fun to watch. He is lightning quick, and he just scored the 4th run of this game, and Cardinals need to pile it on.
Isn't he fun to watch on the bases? Now the Cardinals have a runner at second, nobody out, so Jim Edmonds wants to at least advance him and maybe an RBI in the offing here. 4-0 Redbirds.
Get him up there for the singles hitter.
High fly ball, deep center. Going back, Hunter. He will catch it, and Albert will tag and go to third. That's a nice little advancement by the runner of 400 feet.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and Albert did the right thing. So many times you wonder why guys are even halfway. There was no doubt that ball was either going to go out of the ballpark or be caught. And so get back, tag up, give yourself plenty of time where you're not racing back to the bag. Breaking ball, hanger, got underneath it. Look at Edmonds, knew that he got underneath it, but he still went to the base of the wall.
Well, the Phillies have learned their lesson, Al.
Why do these outfielders always, when they couldn't take a step forward to make the pitcher feel better, they always take a step back and push off the wall. Hey, here comes that singles hitter.
Mark McGwire takes ball 1.
Last time he had 2 singles in a game was June 15th against the White Sox, the only other time. But of course, in that game, he had 2 singles and 2 home runs.
2-0. Now the Phillies, who I said have learned their lesson, no infield shift this time. Marlon Anderson is where second basemen have been playing since the 1850s. And the count goes to 2-0 on Big Mac. He has his 45th RBI of the year today. His batting average up to 193 with a couple of hits and a walk and a 2-0. He went upstairs and sliced it straight back. Mark saw something he could at least hit in the air to the outfield. How nice would a 5-0 lead be in the bottom of the 7th?
How good would that be for the psyche of Mark McGwire? Hopefully pick up at the very least another RBI.
2-1 pitch. A drive to center. Back to tag is Pujols. He's coming home. He had to backtrack. He scores. It's another RBI for McGwire. That was a well-hit ball. Big Mac, a definite contributor today, and the Cardinals do lead 5-0.
See, that's what you need from Mark. Just make some positive thing. A little breaking ball right off the end of the bat. You almost wonder where the topspin would have come down before Hunter would catch it. Hunter, we saw the good throwing arm, and this guy was ready to put another put 576 up there. They always got the new number ready to every time McGuire comes to the plate.
Isn't that something? How about 2 ribbies for Mark today? A perfect day, 2 singles, a walk, a sac fly. The Cardinals lead 5-0, bases empty, 2 outs, and Renteria 3 for 3 up there. That was a real interesting base running play for Albert Pujols. He took off from the bag. When he saw it was going to be caught, Okenda was screaming at him to come back. He had to tear back to the bag, touch it, and then fly home. The 1-1 to Edgar, looking for a perfect day. His batting average now, .263.
5 for 9 in this series and continue that hot hitting. Had a 10-game heat streak stop last night.
And this will be a routine out to right center if the Phillies get there. The ball's got some carry to it, but Brian Hunter grabs it. Cardinals pick up 2 runs on only 1 hit, and great fundamental baseball here. Pujols delivers. McGuire an RBI. 5-0 Cardinals. I was thinking about that old baseball cliche, the ducks have been on the pond all day today, to coincide with our billboard shot there. And the Cardinals have finally, in the second half of this game, delivered those runs. Steve Klein will take over, as Al had forecast here, as we move to the top of the 8th inning.
Steve Klein has that unscored upon streak over the last 24 games, 22 innings. Dated back to July the 3rd at Milwaukee. The busiest reliever in the National League, playing for the 72nd time. Boy, has he been good. He was the key to that trade with Montreal, and we all knew Hermanson was going to have a prominent role in the starting rotation, but he was going to anchor the left side of the bullpen, and he's done that and a lot more. What a great personality, isn't he?
To say the very least, yes.
And we only kid him because he's one of our favorites, and that goes from everybody in the booth to everybody in the truck.
Steve Klein will take on Anderson, Roland, and Abreu, a couple of left-handers around the righty. And he misses away, ball 1. Cardinals enjoying a 5-run cushion now, with only 6 outs left to get for that 11th consecutive win. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's in there on the outside corner. Good day for Marlon Anderson. He's had 2 hits and 3 at-bats.
Well, we got Mike Timlin throwing behind Klein in the Cardinals bullpen, and Jose Mesa, their closer for Philadelphia,
who has not been a factor in this series.
He just needs to get some work. He's throwing in the Phillies. We'll probably see him in the bottom of the 8th.
Drag bunt might be a hit. It is. Klein pawing away at that thing. I think when he found out he couldn't grab it, he might have been able to swat that thing over to first base, but he couldn't quite do that either.
It was one of the worst belly flops I've ever seen. Look at the effort. You can applaud the effort. Hooks it, catches it by the Klein, who falls off to the third base side, and there you see the dive and a funny breaststroke. Watch this. Where's the water? Now he thinks he's a frog.
And the effort was there.
Absolutely.
Here's Roland. And Steve misses low, ball 1. Seattle closed out that 10-2 win over the Yankees. And the 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner. That evens things up. Milwaukee leads 6-3 at Cincinnati after 7.5. Astros 9, Pirates 1 after 6 now in Houston. And the Rockies lead the Marlins 3-1 after 3.5 at Coors Field. All the other action later, including the Cubs at Arizona. Bouncer up the middle. Vina to Renteria. How about that double play? 4-6-3. The Cardinals turn their second twin killing of the day.
You thought it was just going to get there. The high bouncer. Sevigny back up slightly. Flip to Renteria, who's perfect timing. He avoids the slide of Anderson coming at him and completes the double play by getting rolling at first.
Bases empty, 2 outs, and Bobby Abreu is next.
Was that big?
That was pretty.
This will be Steve's last batter, so why not finish the inning off?
Polanco on the grass at third. Bobby Abreu, power and speed, but the Cardinals have controlled him today. He's 0 for 3. And he's 3 for 11 in the series without doing a whole lot of serious damage. It's pitching, pitching, pitching. The basis for everything. Then when your starting pitcher's better, your bullpen doesn't have to work as much. They're better because they're fresher. And then you get some timely hitting like the Cardinals have had the last 2 weeks, and it adds up to a long winning streak. Here's Klein to McGuire, and the Phillies are gone in the top of the 8th inning. Everything looking Cardinal rosy in St. Louis today. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Redbirds on top of the Phils, 5-0. Sunday, September 9th, and the Cards on this Sunday lead 5-0. Stevie's having a good time. We will too when the Dodgers are here. Pasta House Coca-Cola Pennant Day. All fans 15 and under with a paid admission will take home a pennant featuring Darryl Kyle, courtesy of the Pasta House and Coke. Sunday, September 9th. Well, we hope Darryl and his wife Flynn are doing great today. They were going to induce labor for their 3rd baby out in Colorado today, and hopefully we'll have a wonderful addition to the Cardinal family to report to you. There's one of those sweep brooms out in the bleachers. Dave Duncan having a conversation with Matt Morris.
His 16-game winner soon to be.
Yes, sir. And one of the great things about this weekend, Al, the Cardinals have not had to deal with Jose Mesa, who's been one of the best closers in baseball this year with 31 saves.
Yeah, and 33 opportunities, and the 2 blown saves were early in the season. Strikeout pitcher, and just trying to get a little work here. He has 169 saves in his career, and a lot of people thought the Philadelphia Phillies and Ed Wade, their general manager, were crazy for signing him to a 2-year contract.
Yeah, for almost $7 million.
He had 1 save last year for Seattle.
33 the year before that, and his best years were with the Indians.
Yeah, he had 46 saves for Cleveland in '95, 39 in '96.
Jose Mesa, 35-year-old hard-throwing right-hander. It'll be Matheny, then Bobby Bonilla, and then Fernando Vina in the Cardinal 8th. Boy, it's a thing of beauty when everything lines up the way you want to, isn't it, Al? 1 inning for Steve Klein. Bobby Bonilla pinch hits for him. And then you've got Timlin to close things out in the 9th. The Cardinals have 3 guys in that bullpen, and really 4 when you start considering Steck Schulte down the road, who are capable of closing out a ball game for you.
I'll just see Timlin. You know, after this game, we're going to be the biggest Philly fans.
Rooting for them to beat the Astros.
They have an off day on Monday, and then they play 3 in Philadelphia, where the Phillies have a very good home record of 37-21.
I always like those Brewers too, you know. There's a bunch of nice guys.
Oh, sure. They're going to be taking on the Teddy Bears. I mean, the Cubs.
2 balls and a strike. Matheny fouls 1 out of play. Mike used to play for the Brew Crew. We're glad he's a Cardinal, and the count's 2-2. Mike got a big hit last time. A base hit in the 6th that gave the Cards a 3-0 lead. Two and 2 to the Cardinal catcher, Mike Matheny. And then Tony gets Bobby Bonilla, needed at bat, and he wants to keep him fresh and ready. Bobby had a big hit here Friday night. And Matheny, it'll be unassisted, a ground out to Travis Lee. think Bobby's had a good presence on this ball club this year. Enjoys playing. He's been a good pinch hitter.
Yeah, overall numbers as a pinch hitter, he's 6 for 30 with a home run and 6 RBIs.
Bobby's had a couple of key hits during this winning streak.
And a big one on Friday night.
Led to the Cardinal victory on a hot shot up the middle that was bobbled by the center fielder. And a base hit here. Bobby Bonilla is aboard with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th.
Extends his hitting streak the tough way. 2 games with both of them coming as pinch hitters.
He hit that ball that Doug Glanville bobbled the other night, getting the winning run to third base, from where it eventually scored on the Polanco sac fly.
Right about 300 in his last 22 games.
Fernando Vina walking to the plate. Well, Fernando without a hit today, but he's been on base twice, hit by a pitch, sort of.
4 for
on a
9.
ball that really hit his bat, and he was intentionally walked the other time.
4 for 9 in this series, so he's
Yep.
making it even 500.
Rollins on the grass at third. Pirates scored top of the 7th, but they still trailed by 7 at Houston, 9-2. Cardinals looking for their 11th consecutive win. 11 hits today. And a 5-0 lead as they bat here, bottom of the 8th. Trying to win the season series. 4-2 from the Phillies, and Miguel Cairo will pinch run for Bobby Bonilla.
Everybody's having a lot of fun. A lot of handshaking and clapping down there in that dugout. He said nothing was wrong with this ball club that a winning streak wouldn't cure.
Fernando Vina with a blooper into left. That's a base hit. So he's got his 5 for 10 in the weekend series. Cairo stopping at second base, and the Cardinals have first and second, 1 out. You know, Al, a couple of weeks ago, everybody was questioning Tony, Duncan, the team chemistry. That chemistry looks pretty lively to me right now.
Absolutely.
I think it's like, you know, the chicken or the egg. What comes first? Do you have chemistry when you're losing, or do you have to win to develop that to a certain extent?
You do, and of course, you don't want to see a bunch of slap-happy guys when you're losing. You know, they're just little things. They weren't putting things together, but now this team is all firing on all cylinders. You know, their ERA is going to be below 4 for the team.
Right. The Cardinals will be under 4 runs a game if this score holds up. They started the day exactly at 4.00. Here's Polanco, who's 1 for 4. Every spot in the order's been on base today. Look out. Wow. A screamer over the dugout. And hopefully everybody comes up smiling from that down there in those field boxes opposite the right-handed batter.
Somebody got the ball, but they're trying to make sure everybody's okay.
0-1 the count to Polanco. Ground ball cut off by Roland. Dropped again. In his haste to turn a double play, he gets nobody. And that'll be his 9th error of the year. Bases loaded.
Well, he kind of trying to figure out which short hop is he going to get. Comes down there, and he didn't get the short hop. He got the hop, and then, as you mentioned, in the haste to pick it up, he misconnected, and the bases are loaded for Kerry Robinson.
Gary's been hitless today, but he does have a walk and a run. With Vina singling, the Cardinals have a lineup, a hit from every lineup spot, with the exception of Kerry Robinson's number 3 hole today. Bases loaded, 1 out, and it's on the corner, strike 1. Jose Mesa with that blue glove and that lively right arm slips one by Kerry Robinson. Okay. Is that a Mary Kay glove?
It's a Franklin glove. No wonder he's struggling.
There's a ground ball up the middle. They'll have to hurry for two. Forget it. This kid can fly. Cairo scores, and the Cardinals lead 6-0.
Carries 12th RBI on the fielder's choice. Flies, even if he gets jammed there, you get slow out of the batter's box, but look at him pick up the speed. And the Cardinals now have a 6-0 lead.
Next up, Albert Pujols, who doubled a run home last time up. Talk about a total team effort today. First and third, 2 outs. Albert takes a strike from Jose Mesa. Mets just got 2 in the first at Los Angeles as they're underway. And the Cardinals will equal what the Redbirds of 1941 did with 2 streaks in the season. 1 a 10-game streak, 1 an 11-game streak, and if they win tomorrow in Cincinnati, that will surpass what the 1941 club did in late May of that year. When, as Al pointed out last night, they didn't win the pennant, but the next year they did when they won 106 games.
Albert in the crowd.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Thought that ball was a little bit inside, but for the most part, these 2 young umpires, Wegner last night and Barksdale today, have done a very good job, and strike zone have very little beefs.
One-two delivery to Pujols. Off the middle, another one scores. 7-0 Cardinals. And for Pujols, his 92nd of the year. This team is something else.
And some of the Pujols family. Mesa throws in a hanging breaking ball, and he just sends it back up the middle. And there's that, like you said, his 92nd RBI. Vina, you know, leadoff hitter, they always want to score runs. That's his first.
Cardinals 2 unearned runs in this inning because of the error by Roland. And the Redbirds are rolling. Here's Edmonds, 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored today. And one of our great gals on the Bud Sports crew who helps you bring Cardinal baseball, Kim Eberly, has an upcoming birthday. Before we slide out of town, we want to wish Kim our very best and
21?
many happy returns. I told him, I said, no numbers coming from here.
21.
We'll just wish her a happy birthday.
Woody Williams is his birthday today. He's 35. He'll start Tuesday.
Look out.
Throw him out.
Wild pitch. Runners go to second and third.
Throw him out right
and
there.
We may have at least a warning. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you should, if you ever had the intent to throw a guy out, there it is right there. You throw it over his head, and then he comes off the mound 25 feet yelling at the batter.
Umpire Lance Barksdale signals there has been a warning, and now Larry Bullock will come out.
But you see what I'm saying? If you have a rule that says you do not have to hit a guy, if you think he intentionally threw at a batter, you automatically throw him out. Why not you throw him out? I mean, if you know anything about the game, that was done by design. And if they have a rule that says if you think a pitcher is intentionally trying to throw at a hitter, he doesn't have to hit him. You don't have to warn both benches. You can make an automatic ejection. Watch here. Look where the catcher's set up. He's set up outside right over the head. And you see Mesa come in right there saying, yeah, I tried to do it on purpose. And what Jimmy's saying is, hey, look it, you want to throw at me, throw below the head. But as a pitcher, if you want to send a message, you throw up there, because if he moves anything, his head comes with it.
Well, the Phillies still have to bat in this game one more time, and we'll leave it at that. Here's the 1-0 to Edmonds. Inside corner. Yeah, I would say he's got pretty pinpoint control. That one must have just gotten away. But that's dangerous when you're getting up near that helmet. 1 ball, 1 strike to Jim. Out of play.
Larry Boa brings in his closer just to get a little work, and then he gets roughed up, and it's the Cardinals' fault.
Two outs, second and third, 1-2 pitch. And Edmonds gets hit. Jose Mesa is out of the game, and he should be. What could Jose Mesa possibly have to say to the umpire right here?
Well, whatever it is, it's wrong.
What, you called it too far inside or what? So Mesa gone, rightly so, and the Cardinals will have the bases loaded with 2 outs. He gave up 3 hits in the inning.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He brings him in to get some work, and should have been tossed after the first one over his head. Then he eventually hits him, and for whatever reason, Tony's upset because he hasn't left the dugout. And Tony out to talk to the umpires, and Mesa's still sitting in the dugout. After Mesa hit him, immediately ejected, and then he's trying to tell the umpire, you know, bad call. Like, I didn't try to hit him. Well, it doesn't matter. After you've been warned, it's automatic. And the ejection of the manager also comes with it. And I think that's part of what Tony's saying is, how can Boa be making pitching changes when he's ejected along with his pitcher?
Well, I would venture to say the umpires forgot.
Yeah, I would think that's the case.
They forgot the manager goes with the pitcher after a warning.
Mesa's still out there in violation. No interpretation.
Well, and the only thing I can tell you, these are the machinations, if you will, of a very frustrated ball club. The Cardinals have beaten the Phillies in a close game, a not so close game, and a blowout today. And there's a first place ball club that's very, very frustrated right now. They've stranded in this series 29 base runners. Jim Edmonds and Travis Lee talking things over at first base. Jose Mesa, who for some reason is upset that he's been thrown out, knocked over the water cooler. Now, how can he be sitting in the dugout right now?
Well, he's not supposed to be, and I'm sure the third base umpire is looking over at the, I can see, he's telling the bench to tell Mesa to leave.
How can they throw a pitch before he leaves?
And now, see, the umpires are saying they're making attention to it now and telling him he's going to have to leave.
Davey Phillips is the one taking charge out behind the mound. I mean, when you're out, dugout and all. Yeah, now Jose daring Tony La Russa to come over and take him on.
Jim Edmonds handled it in a professional manner, just going to first base. And unprofessional from Mesa.
Here's McGuire. Low and away, and Mark gets a 5th at bat today.
Cliff Polite on the mound. He struck out Mark on 3 pitches last night. Nice little drama here.
Outside ball 2. Well, the Phillies have made this about as exciting as a 7-0 game in the 8th inning can become. Cardinals have scored 2 unearned runs in this inning. Bottom line is, if Jose Mesa's third baseman had made a play, this inning would have been over a long time ago. Mark McGuire on a 2-0 count.
Keep that perfect game intact, Mark.
2 hits, a walk, a sac fly, a run scored, 2 RBIs. He has 46 RBIs on the year.
14 grand slams and a .310 average with the bases loaded.
There it goes. Left field, heading for the wall. One hops the wall, goes over. Cardinals lead 9-0. And those runs charged to Jose Mesa.
4 RBI game for Mark McGuire. A pair of singles, a double, a walk, 4 RBIs, a sacrifice fly. You can't tell you what that can do for the psychology and psyche of Mark McGuire. And not without the long ball, but 3 hits in this game and a sac fly. Ground rule double, and
That ball took 3.7 seconds to go from Mark's bat to the ground in deep left center. Renteria, the 9th Cardinal to bat in the inning. 9-0 St. Louis. A single would make it 11 for 11 straight. And a breaking ball low, and the count goes 2-0. Jose Mesa charged with 4 runs in this inning. None of them will be earned. And the Cardinals putting an exclamation point on this weekend. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Edgar swings through a high fastball from Cliff Polite. And until the Cubs take the field in Arizona, when this one's over, the Cardinals will be 1 game behind Chicago. 2-1 pitch. That'll even the count. Cardinal hits, 9 runs. Matt Morris will go 16-7. And a 2-2 from Cliff Polite. Renteria with a bouncer to Roland. Low throw picked out by Travis Lee, and the Cardinals score 4 times. We go to the top of the 9th. 11 in a row is a heartbeat away. Cardinals lead 9-0. Big Mac in today's play of the game, brought to you by Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Take it a Bud Light. Which one was it, Al?
It's a single. Drives in Edmonds.
Guess what?
First time we've ever done that on a Bud Light play of the game, right?
If this score holds up, that's the game-winning RBI.
All right, Big Mac. 4 RBIs on the day. 9-0 lead. As Mike Timlin was coming in, the umpires, and 50 years of experience between Rick Reed and Davey Phillips. They stopped him on the way, and I'm sure they just said, come on, Mike, don't do anything stupid. You're coming off a knee surgery. 2nd appearance since that time. Just throw strikes, end this ball game. Don't retaliate. Wait till next year.
Clubs will not meet again, or will they? They could meet in the playoffs, the Phillies and the Cardinals.
Could, but I doubt it. 50th game for Timlin. Remember, he took 3 weeks off just to have knee surgery and a quick rehabilitation. Pitched an inning and third the other night of scoreless. So right now, just get yourself back into a groove, finish this game off. Let's take the 9-0 win and start winning on the road. 11-game winning streak's most important.
Well, Mike Timlin looked great here Friday night. Pitched an inning and a third, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Told us yesterday he woke up Saturday morning feeling great. And that's what matters. Feeling good and being able to do your job 100%. For the Phillies, it'll be Burrell, Lee, and Hunter here in the ninth.
Timlin was told that when he injured the knee that it would need surgery and be out for 4 to 6 weeks. He said, that's what the doctor said. I knew it'd be a lot quicker, and Mark O'Neill and a lot of hard work by Mike Timlin got him back in 3.
And ball 1 to Burrell, who's 0 for 3 today. And 3 for 14 in the series. And a fastball at the letters that evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's Mike's breaking ball. Little bouncer to McGuire. Mark will do it himself. And that's the first out. Pitching pairings for the Cincinnati series for you. Tomorrow night, Woody Williams and Chris Reitzma. Tuesday, Dustin Hermanson and Jose Acevedo. Darryl Kyle and Lance Davis Wednesday. Day game Thursday, Bud Smith, Elmer descends. And we'll see if this Redbird Express can roll into Cincinnati and keep this thing going.
Well, looks like Cincinnati, they got swept 4 games by the Cardinals. First time the Cardinals have had a 4-game sweep over the Reds since '62.
And this would be their 8th loss in a row today. Pena coming forward, still can't get it. Ball kind of took a little hop up off the heel of his glove, and he'll get his 6th error of the year. He was playing that ball aggressively. Cardinals' first error of the day, their 96th of the year.
Kind of surrounding it, circling the ball to try and get something behind his throw, but didn't look it into the glove. We talked so much about how he was playing a little bit more into the hole, so he had to go to his right a little bit. How he looks the ball into the glove, where you see the dot, little beanie on top of his hat, and there he was trying to do it all on the run.
So is that why they colored that little dot differently years ago, so you could tell when the guy's got his head down looking for the ball, huh?
I don't know if that's the reason why, but used to be some blades sticking out of it. What happened to Rich? What happened to Rich? Where's he been?
0-1 delivery. He's off enjoying this Cardinal 11-game winning streak that's about to happen. 1 on, 1 out. Brian Hunter 1 for 3 today, and a batting average of .286, and a big breaking ball bounce foul outside third, and the count goes 1-2. Another final from the American League. Rangers win 8-4 at Toronto. To join the other 3 winners, Anaheim at Cleveland, Seattle at New York, and the Tigers at home over the Royals. No finals yet in the National League, although it's the bottom of the 9th at Cincinnati. There's a little half swing. Pena going out. He makes the catch. There's some atonement for you. And the second out here in the 9th inning.
I think he just did make up for the bobble with another sensational play out in the outfield, a dive, and holds on, crashing to the turf. That's a great play by Fernando, and a guy that, after he made that error, he desperately wants to win a Gold Glove, and in our book, he has.
Runner at first, 2 outs. I've never seen Fernando make as many spectacular plays as he has this year. Cardinals 1 out away from an 11-game hitting streak and looking for the shutout now. And I guarantee you Fernando bounced up looking for a double play somewhere.
Sure did. You know, he'll be cognizant of where that runner is. Can he trap him off first?
Fans are chanting sweep, sweep here at the ballpark. Cardinals trying to do it for the second consecutive time, closing out a 7-0 homestand against a team from their own division and the first place team, at least when they came to town, from the East. A foul ball off to the left, and now it's 1 strike away. And they come to their feet. 38,265 paid today. Cardinals over $2.5 million for the year now. And Timlin with a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. Out of play.
Last pitch, Mike. Be the 7th shutout. This would be a combined shutout, but 7th time this year Cardinals have had a shutout.
Line drive. Albert is there. 11 in a row. And the Cardinals are 1 game behind the Cubs. 2 hours and 48 minutes, 14 hits, 9 runs, great pitching, and the Redbird Express rolls on. Cardinals win it. 7-0 homestand. Some happy details in a minute. Cardinals win it 9-0, sweep the series. They win their 11th consecutive game. And now it's interesting. I mean, the Astros will probably go on and win their ball game today. But right now, look at this. The Cardinals came back of the Cubs, and at the moment, only 2 back of Houston. And that'll probably go back to 2.5 when they close out that 9-2 lead they have.
And you know, the Houston Astros are looking ahead of them and behind them, and they don't like what they see. But that's what you got to do. You win your ball game in convincing fashion. Everything else will take care of itself.
Hey, I'm convinced. And here on KPLR TV St. Louis, WB11, the Cardinals win it 9-0. Final words from a very happy Busch Stadium in a minute. Cardinal baseball on WB11 was brought to you by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. By Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom, 30 years, 1 mission, low fares. By AutoZone, the right part, the right price, and good advice. And by your local St. Louis Chrysler Jeep dealers, the official automotive sponsor of the Cardinals on WB11. 11, isn't that a nice number? 11 consecutive wins for the Cardinals. Right now they're 2 games out of first, 1 game behind the Cubs, and everything going right for the Redbirds. 9-14-1 for the Cards, 0-7-1 for the Phillies. It took 248 to play it. 38,265 saw it. Matt Morris, a career best 16-7, and David Coggin falls to 4-2. Cardinals and Reds, Fox Sports Net pregame show, 5:30 tomorrow. For Al Raboski, Rich Gould, and our entire Bud Sports crew, Bob Carpenter. The Stooges in progress. It's been anything but that at the ballpark today.